Hi everybody, I'm here today to show you how you can make some natural paints and dyes. So before we get started, you have to have an adult's permission before we can move any further. So you have to ask your parents and guardians if you're allowed to do this, because you might need their help with some of it, but you absolutely have to have their permission, because we're going to be using food and food products as well as the stove and boiling water, and I don't want anyone to get hurt or get in trouble for using something that you're not allowed to use. So, alright, these are the things that you're going to need to get started. Some of the equipment that you're going to need are pots, cups, jars, strainers or sieves. You're also going to need your measuring cups and a tablespoon. You're going to need beets, onion skins. If you have hibiscus flowers or hibiscus tea, that works really well. Turmeric, chili powder, carrots, grass and or dirt. We're going to experiment with that today. Tea and coffee. So hopefully you have one or two or even a few of those things so that we can get started. I realized I forgot to write vinegar. You have to have vinegar as well for this. I guess you don't have to, but vinegar helps pull out the natural colors from the fruits and vegetables that you can experiment with to make paints and dyes. So yeah, even if you don't have any of these things, you can experiment and see what you have and what will work. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so these are our general directions for making the dyes. You're going to bring whatever dye matter that you have, whether it's the beet skins, grated up carrot, the turmeric, etc. You're going to bring it to a boil, and then you're going to turn down the heat and simmer for 45 minutes to an hour. Once you've done that, then you're going to strain the liquid through a sieve or a strainer. And that's when you usually add the vinegar. In the videos that I've made, I added the vinegar during the boiling process. I don't know if there's any difference scientifically about when it matters when you add the vinegar or not. You'll have to ask your science teacher or Google that. Alright, so let's start making some dye. The recipe that I use to make my pink is that I use 2 cups of water, 2 cups peeled grated beets, and 1 to 2 tablespoons white vinegar. Other options for pink, you can experiment with berries, daylilies, hibiscus, and basil leaves. I have some dried hibiscus that I'll be also experimenting with as well. To make a really nice orange color, you're going to peel some yellow onions and take off all their skins and put them into a pot. And what you're going to do is pour about 2 cups of water over those skins and add 1 to 2 tablespoons of vinegar. I'm going to add another tablespoon after this. Here's my second tablespoon, and you're going to want to bring this to a boil and simmer it for a really long time. Try to simmer it for as long as you can, even up to an hour. So just to summarize, 2 cups of water, 2 tablespoons of vinegar. We're going to cover it. We're going to let it come to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, we're going to turn it down to a simmer, and then we're going to simmer it for up to an hour. Alright, while we're waiting for the onion skins to boil, I'm going to make some other colors. I have hibiscus leaves in here. I put 1 tablespoon of hibiscus. I put in 1 tablespoon, heaping tablespoon of instant coffee. Here I have 2 black tea bags and a little bowl of grass. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour some boiling water on all of these items and let them steep. I know for the least amount of water you have, the stronger the colors are going to be. So I'm going to let these sit and see what we come up with. You know what? I think for this grass, I'm going to add a little bit of vinegar because the acid in the vinegar can really bring out the colors. So I think I'll add maybe a tablespoon, maybe a half a tablespoon of vinegar. Okay, my onion skins are now boiling. So I'm just going to try to push them down, make sure they're getting all covered by the water. And I'm going to turn it down to a simmer. On my stove, that's a 2. On yours might be different. And I'm just going to cover it back up. Okay? Now we're going to make some yellow pigment. So just like with the onions, use 2 cups water. And I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of turmeric. Here's my 1 tablespoon of turmeric. And all I need to do is add my 2 tablespoons of vinegar next. Okay, 1 tablespoon of vinegar and 1 more to go. 2nd tablespoon of vinegar. And just like with the onions, we're going to be bringing this to a boil and then we're going to simmer it. Probably for less time than the onions, but we'll see. I've never tried chili powder before, but I read on the internet it could also be an option. So I'm going to try chili powder as well. I'm putting a tablespoon in. This one, I'm running out of pots for boiling, so I'm just going to pour some boiling water and just make a strong little potion there. And you know, since we're using so much boiling water today, please make sure you're being very careful. And depending on your age, make sure that you have, you know, your parents' or guardians' permission to be using this, or, you know, make sure that you have their help. Okay? All right, my turmeric has come to a boil, so I'm going to turn it down. And I'm just going to simmer it. Just keep your eye on it so that you don't lose all the liquid, because you definitely want a really nice concentrated liquid there. Okay, just checking on our onion skins here, and you can see, look at that beautiful rich color that's coming. Beautiful. We still have lots of liquid in there, and I have at least half an hour to 45 more minutes to continue simmering this. Turmeric will always look yellow because it's turmeric. I've started with the beets. Got to put my lid on that, and we noticed the grass wasn't turning color at all, so I'm going to try boiling that and see if we can get it any richer. My son went out to get some more grass, so okay, we've made all of our dyes, and now I'm going to test them out. So what I've done in my sketchbook, I labeled all the different materials that I used. So the first one is beet, and I want to see how my beets turned out. And remember, this time I was actually using cooked beets when normally I would be using raw beets. So I think that actually altered the color of them, but look how beautiful that is. That's beets. No, you want to try? Now, I'm trying the hibiscus. I had dried hibiscus flowers. Oh, wow. But you might not have the flowers, but you might have hibiscus tea in your cupboard. It's also known as Jamaica if you speak Spanish. And I know actually in Jamaican culture, oh, it's called something else. I forget. All right, here's our onion skins. That looks lovely. Onion skins are always really, really good. I'm gonna try carrots now. Ooh, not bad. It's my first time ever trying carrots. I'd never tried carrots before. All right, now for turmeric. I know turmeric will be great because turmeric, if you ever get it on you, it stains you quite a lot. So here's my turmeric and grass. Now, I did get a bit more color in the grass once I started boiling it, but I don't think the grass is going to be, no. There's a little something there, but not a lot. Maybe more grass and more time boiling, we might have been more successful. Here, trying the chili. Ooh, interesting. All right. right. Okay, coffee. Ooh, nice. Excuse me, Blake. Okay, tea. Okay. And lastly, my dirt mixture. I never tried dirt before. I think I need to experiment with it more, but there we go. All right, so I can't wait to see the creations that you come up with, and let's experiment with these beautiful natural colors. Bye for now.